مجلسكم بذكر محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
As I was supposed to start earlier, we'll have a short majlis tonight, but inshallah we will conclude and continue the topic tomorrow night, inshallah. It is the night of Arba'een. 40 days have passed on the martyrdom of the master of martyrs, Sayyid al-Shuhada, Abi Abdullah Al-Hoseine, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. His sons, his nephews, his friends and companions, and the martyrs of Karbala. 40 days has passed. Very shortly and very quickly, we will come to study why we hold such an important program for an important figure, for an important event. What is so special about Arba'een? What is so special about this figure, Imam Hussein alayhi salam? What is so special about mu'mineen and mu'minat going to the city of Karbala? Why do we see millions of people going to Karbala on the 40th of Imam Hussein alayhi salam? Inshallah, very quickly we will come to understand in short terms and short meanings why we have gathered here today and tonight. But before I explain this, a very short introduction. The Sharia of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, meaning the religion of Rasulullah, the set of guidelines, the rules and regulations of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, the conclusion of everything the Prophet came for is to guide mankind to the right path. This is a simple thing everyone knows and understands. Everyone knows and understands that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent religions and sent the prophets to guide mankind. This is something we don't have a doubt about. Now, Allah created us, and Allah is so kind and so merciful that He did not only create us and left us just like that, haba'an manthura. No, Allah created us and Allah also showed us the way for survival. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, He says that the mu'mineen say, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Is that we are from Allah, Allah created us, and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala eventually we shall return. Inna lillah, we are created by Allah, we are owned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa inna, and we as human beings, wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Eventually, one day, we will go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But how will our state be? How will we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So Allah has put guidelines for us. And the guidelines are very obvious. The Quran and Ahlul Bayt. The Holy Quran, Al-Thaqalain. It's very important and very beneficial that we learn these ahadith. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, O Muslims, I the Holy Prophet, inni tarikun fikum al-thaqlain. I am leaving behind the two precious things, the two weighty things. Kitab Allah, the Holy Book of Allah, which is the words of Allah, the manual. When you buy an item, you have a manual. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us. He brought us into this world. He gave us Islam and He gave us the guidelines. He gave us the manual. So the Holy Prophet saying, I am leaving two precious things, the Holy Quran and Ahlul Bayt. Now you will need someone to come and explain to you the manual. Someone to guide you through the manual. Ahlul Bayt, alayhi salam. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Imam Hoseine alayhi salam one day entered upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now remember this introduction? Imam Hoseine, the Holy Prophet, was sitting in the masjid in the Medina, in the holy city of Medina, and one of the companions called Ubay ibn Ka'b, one of the companions sitting next to the Holy Prophet. Imam Hoseine, being young, came into the masjid. Rasulullah, once he saw Imam Hoseine and this companion is sitting next to him, he's observing. And he is the one that narrated this hadith. He's saying, I saw Imam Hoseine coming to the masjid. I was sitting next to the Holy Prophet. And as soon as the Holy Prophet noticed Imam Hoseine, observed Imam Hoseine, saw Imam Hoseine, Rasulullah said this word, Assalamu alayka ya Zayn as-samawati wal-ard. Peace be upon you, O Zayn. What does Zayn mean? Zina means decoration, decorating somewhere. Zayn, as mentioned in this riwayah, means, O Imam Hoseine, peace be upon you, you are the one that the heavens and the earth are glorified by your existence. Who's saying this? Imam, the Holy Prophet, is saying this about Imam Hoseine. Ubay, the companion of Rasulullah, sitting next to him. He said, O Prophet of Allah. He was puzzled. He said, O Prophet of Allah, you just described Imam Hoseine as a figure who the earth, the heavens and the earth are glorified by Imam Hoseine. I thought none other than yourself glorifies the skies, the heavens and the earth. The Prophet said, Oh Ubay, now this is Imam Hoseine, he's entered, he's sitting next to the Holy Prophet, and the Holy Prophet is explaining this riwayah. He said, now that you have asked, thinking that I was the best of Allah's creations, and he is the best of Allah's creations, the Holy Prophet. But Imam Hoseine alayhi salam, he is the one that glorifies the heavens and the earth. This is how important Imam Hoseine is. We human beings, we will never be able to understand Imam Hoseine, but we have to do our best. We think Imam Hoseine is an Imam, is an infallible, created by Allah. He lived his life, he became 50, 54, he went to Karbala, he got martyred, and we will mourn, we cry for his death. Because he is such an important person. No! This is not the reason that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Ahlul Bayt, and especially Imam Hoseine. The Holy Prophet is saying, O Ubay ibn Ka'b, Imam Hoseine's position and level in the heavens is far greater than Imam Hoseine as you know him in the earth. If only us as human beings, I as an individual, if only I knew how important and how glorified Imam Hoseine is in the heavens and in the skies. The same time that we are commemorating, mourning, crying, weeping for Imam Hoseine in the earth, you don't know what the malaika are doing in the heavens for this Imam. You think we human beings are the only ones that cry for Imam Hoseine? The malaika are the ones who start the memorial service for Imam Hoseine alayhi salam. Fatima al-Zahra every year on the night of the 1st of Muharram comes out in the heavens and in the skies in front of all the malaika, all the messengers of Allah, the 124,000 messengers and prophets. She comes out, she brings out the bloody shirt of Imam Hoseine alayhi salam as a sign that Muharram and the mourning of Imam Hoseine has started. We here on earth, the only way, or not the only way, the sign sign that shows people that Muharram started is by the changing of the flag of the shrine of Imam Hussein and Al-Fadl al-Abbas from red to black. Fatima al-Zahra, on the eve of 1st of Muharram, comes out with the shirt of Imam Hussein full of blood, which is kept with Fatima al-Zahra until the day of Qiyamah, the day of judgment. She brings it out and she says, this is a sign that Muharram and the mourning once again starts. So Rasulullah said to obey Imam Hussein in the skies is far greater than he is on earth. The importance of Imam Hussein, the importance of the Arba'een of Imam Hussein. I will narrate one narration and inshallah I will conclude my majlis, but it is very important. At least let us learn one riwayah. Keep it in your mind. If you can't memorize it, just think about it. Fudail ibn Uthman says, I asked Imam Sadiq, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the narrations say, if Allah wants good for a person, Allah will throw in to his heart the love of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Now every single one of us who carry the love of Imam Hussein, I carry an emotion for Imam Hussein. I feel a certain way for Imam Hussein. Every single one of us feels a certain way, a certain thing. I'm not saying everyone is equal in their feelings towards Imam Hussein. Every one of us will think a different way about Imam Hussein. Allah, He Himself throws in every single hour of our hearts the love of Imam Hussein. And this is the hadith by Imam al-Sadiq. إِذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِعَبْدٍ خَيْرًا, if Allah wants good for a abd, He will throw him قَذَفَ فِي قَلْبِهِ حُبَّ الْحُسَيْنِ. Now the one that doesn't carry the love of Imam Hussein is the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want khair for him. Now you are here, you are wearing black, you show emotion for Imam Hussein in the simplest of manners. Know that Allah wants good for you. Know that Allah has thrown into your heart the love of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The importance of Arba'een. And why Imam Hussein? We don't sit down and mourn the 40th of Rasulullah. We don't remember 40th of Imam Sadiq, Imam al-Askari, Imam al-Baqir, Imam al-Sajjad. Although doing that is very nice, very good, we should do that. But why did Ahl al-Bayt concentrate on Imam Hussein alayhi salam? Because Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, his position, as I said, is far greater. What Allah gave Imam Hussein is far greater. Imam Hussein, as mentioned by Rasulullah, his name is written on the right side of the Arsh, the throne of Allah. Now throne, you might think as a seat, as a Arsh. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not a jism. Allah doesn't need a physical entity. Allah is everywhere. Now Allah wants to show us and tell us that Imam Hussein is so important that Allah has written his name on the right side of the knowledge. A hadith said Al-Arsh might mean the knowledge, Al-Ilm, Ilmullah. Allah also created Aql and He placed him on the right side of the Arsh. So Imam Hussein on the right side, Al-Aql on the right side. Now Imam Hussein, whoever wants to know Imam Hussein, he will reach ultimate intellect. So don't think low of yourselves when you mourn for Imam Hussein. Rasulullah said, لما عرج بي إلى السماء رأيت مكتوبا على ساق العرش حديث حديث على يمين العرش إن الحسين مصباح الهدى وسفينة النجاة. You are visiting, you are mourning for someone, his name is written on the right side of Arsh. Whoever visits Imam Hussein, and this is a riwayah by Ahl al-Bayt, من زار الحسين كمن زار الله في عرشه. Whoever visits Imam Hussein says, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. I know you are an Imam. I know you are an infallible. I know I should follow you and obey you. Is as if I have visited Allah. How can you visit someone who doesn't have a physical entity? No, it's as if you have come to understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, the mullah is here, he's got another majlis. I have to conclude very quickly. But let's remember and let's think about Arba'een, 40 days of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. What happened in the Arba'een? What happened in the 40th of Imam Hussein? The family of Ahlul Bayt, the family of Imam Hussein, after 40 days of captivity and asr, from being taken from Karbala to Kufa to Sham, being hit, being whipped, being sworn at, being laughed at, their captivity being celebrated, after 40 days of being away from the physical bodies of Ahlul Bayt, they came back to Karbala. Now, how did Lady Zainab go out from Medina to Karbala? She was in a respectable manner. Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas made sure her bride is all ready, all the women were protected, were respected. No one saw or heard a physical appearance of Lady Zainab or the women of Ahlul Bayt. And how did they come back? Ahlul Bayt, they were tortured into a level where no other human being was tortured and will be tortured until the day of judgment. We surely respect Imam Hussein. We surely mourn for Imam Hussein. Let's come and understand Imam Hussein more. Because once we understand Imam Hussein more, we will come to be closer to Allah. We will come to be closer to the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lady Zainab came, she stood on a point with the qafila. One road goes to Medina and one road goes to Karbala. They came to Imam Zayn al-Abidin, the guide who was guiding them all the way. He came to Imam Zayn al-Abidin, "Oh Imam, where do you want us to go? Do you want us to go to Karbala or do you want us to go to Medina?" Imam Zayn al-Abidin said, "Give me a moment, let me